So what I want to do over these 5 days is introduce you to sort of sections of kind of like the framework of what I do for a morning practice, and you can take it or leave it. You can choose, to do your own versions, or if you know a different version or whatever that might be. I'm going to do a very basic framework, and you can, color it in how it works for you, or you can follow along. We'll just keep it open and accessible. So the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is I do some deep breathing. And so I thought we'll start with some deep breathing. Very simple breath. We're going to inhale for a 6 count, and then we're going to hold for a 6 count, and then we're going to breathe out for a 6 count. The breath is through the nose. If you want to go longer, you can go longer. We'll do this for a couple of minutes. I even lie in bed and do this. After I was sick, my lung capacity was really a lot less than it normally is. So you could also do this lying in bed before you even get to your mat. So let's start with the breathing. Just sit comfortably where you are, or lie down. Your spine is nice and straight, your eyes are closed, and you focus on the space between the eyebrows. Breath is through the nose. And inhale for 6. Hold the breath for 6. Breathe out through the nose for 6. In 6. Hold 6. And out 6. Now do 5 more on your own. And finish one more round of the breath, wherever you are at. And when you complete that round of the breath, just notice the quality of the space. External space outside the body, internal space inside the body. Spent some time in reflection, contemplation, as we prepared for this week on, why do I practice through all the years and all the ups and downs and times when I don't practice and times when I do. And it's been a big part of my life for over half my life. And I think the simple answer to that question for me personally is that when I get up in the morning and enter into that space, whatever it looks like, because it changes over time and day to day even, what the real juice of the practice, the real benefit for me is that it opens my heart and my mind to focus on the world I want to live in. And there's this tendency to want to point the finger at the world I don't want to live in. And when I do the practice, it moves me out of that space of focusing on the problems, and it moves me into the space of focusing on the solutions from a heart-centered place and from an open-minded place. And I get inspirations to connect with friends or write poetry or sing a song or just feel the bliss of twisting my spine or the bliss of singing a song or hearing a song that brings me joy. And that's beautiful medicine, right? To open the heart and open the mind to focus on the world that I want to live in and that we want to live in collectively. So that's why I practice. And the next thing I do after I breathe is I rub my hands together, and you're welcome to join. As I mentioned at the start, those of you who are just joining, you can take or leave anything that resonates or doesn't resonate. Bring the hands together in the center of the chest. I've been chanting a series of mantras from different traditions recently, kind of like a montage of the different traditions that I've practiced through my life. And I thought, and it's about 5 chants actually, so I thought we would do each chant day to day. And then I would invite you to explore what are the sound frequencies that have really inspired you through your life and to introduce those into your practice. The first one I'd like to do is in honor of the first yogi, Shiva. I've spent a lot of time in my life with a beautiful teacher named Sri Dharma Mitra, who's a devotee of Shiva. And I've said this chant many, many, many times. And what it means to me is it's connecting with this sort of like original source or the origin of who you are. It's a reminder of all the times that I've had experiences with yoga where it was really healing, or the first time I ever did Shavasana after a vinyasa class and I felt like so liberated, or the first time, I laid eyes on the Golden Temple and I just felt my heart open. When I chant this, it's a reminder to return to that original state. That's what it means to me as a yogi. So we'll chant together. We'll do the chant 3 times through, and you can also just listen, do what works for you. And you can follow the tune. It's pretty basic. Even a child could do it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Inhale deeply and exhale. Now either sit on your heels in a warrior pose or put your forehead on the floor in a wisdom pose. We also call it child's pose. So forehead on the earth, or sit on your heels, or any seated postures are all right too. So SJ's doing the wisdom pose, I'll do the warrior pose. If you feel safe to, close your eyes and focus at the eyebrow center. And take this opportunity to say your prayers. Connect to the earth, the water, the fire, the breath, to your higher self, to your inner knower, to your guides, whatever resonates for you. Just take a moment in prayer. We give thanks as a global Sanghat, a global community of beings, hearts and minds and bodies connected to the earth, connected to the water, connected to the warmth of the inner fire and the outer fire, the sun. We give thanks for the breath that connects us to the plants and to each other. We give thanks for the healing sounds within and around us. Open our hearts and our minds as we spend this time in community, in practice. And so it is. Those of you who are seated in the warrior, put your forehead on the floor like our friends in wisdom pose. And stretch your arms out in front of you with your palms spread wide. And then walk your hands out to the right. You can lift your forehead for this so that you're stretching the left side of the body. And then place your forehead down. Breathe into the left lung. And breathe out. And then take one more deep breath into the left lung. And then walk your hands out to the other side. Breathe into the right lung. Stretch. And then coming back to center as you're ready. And come up to sit. And let's sit back in a cross-legged posture. I have pretty tight knees and ankles, so I like to sit kneeling, especially at the start of the practice, just to open the knees and ankles. But you'll pay attention to in your own sadhana, like what needs opening, what needs strengthening, and then make that a priority. It really is about listening. Like Guru Nanak, he said, pain and error is dissolved through listening. So if you have areas in the body that need attention and opening through listening, you start to honor them as an act of devotion, and even in the physical. Put your hands on your knees and we'll do some Sufi grinds, exhaling forward, or exhaling back. Let's go exhaling back, inhaling forward. The eyes can be soft or closed. Like Bruce Lee said, move like water, be like water. Or you could even go a full inhale for a circle, full exhale for a circle. Just play with it. And when you're ready, switch directions. And then come to the center, inhale deeply. Slightly tuck the chin and squeeze your pelvic floor. Relax your shoulders. Gaze into the infinite space between the eyebrows. Relax the pelvic floor, breathe out. Walk the right hand out wide and reach the left arm over by the ear. If you're a little more flexible, you may even play with putting your elbow on the ground, or you could even be right here on your fingertips. Breathe into the left side. And when you're ready, come up on an inhale and bend to the other side on an exhale. Breathing into the right side of the rib cage. And then come up on an inhale and relax down on an exhale. Extend your legs. So we're going to really work on the lower part of the body, and then close with a twist today, and then we'll go into the upper part of the body in the practice tomorrow, and then we'll join them together. So the first, very basic, you just take the right foot and massage your foot. Massage your toes, massage the sole of the foot. You can flex the foot back and forth. And then take your fingers, if this is accessible. If not, it's okay, just hold your foot. And interlace your fingers with your toes. And make your ankle really loose. And make some circles with the ankle. If this bothers your thigh, you can bend your knee like SJ's doing. Or if it's more comfortable. The whole purpose of this is to just relax the feet. Relax the ankles. When I was in bed, sick for a couple of weeks, one thing that I was able to do was stretch my legs. So I would point my toes, flex my toes, which we'll do in the practice. You can switch sides. Put my legs up the wall, try and stretch my hamstrings as much as I could. Because when you're bedridden like that, it's really important that you keep the blood flowing in the legs. We've heard a lot about blood clots and that kind of thing with COVID, and people are bedridden. So just encourage you, if you happen to get sick or you know someone who does, just encourage them to stretch their legs. If they're not able to get out of bed, just find a way to move the legs, massage the feet. Maybe you massage their legs and feet for them. And then make the circles with the ankles. Switch sides, directions. All right, and then relax that. So here's a modification if the next part is not accessible. You're just going to practice pulling the toes all the way back and then pointing the toes. Pulling the toes all the way back and then pointing the toes. Okay? Or come into a squat so that you're on your tiptoes and your knees are together. Okay? Hands at the heart. We're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. This is opening the feet. You can try, if you're more flexible, doing this without your hands. I'm going to use my hands for this. Put your fingertips down and then place your knees on the ground. Your toes are tucked under, so if you turn to the side, you'll see the toes are tucked. So you're stretching the feet. Just long, deep breathing. Like I said, if you want to try a challenge, you can try it without using your hands. Otherwise, use your hands and lift back up. Good. And one more time, put the knees down and stretch the feet. And then you can relax the feet just for a moment. All right, next exercise. Come into groundation. We like to call it groundation. Connect to the earth with your hands and feet, also known as downward facing dog. You can move the feet a bit if you like. And then step your right foot forward and lower your knee. If you know variations of this, go ahead. But lift your chest. You could take the hands on the knees, you could reach the arms up. You could stay right where you are. Long, deep breathing. Awesome. And then go to the top of a push-up. And either lower to wisdom pose or lower your knees, chest, and chin. Come through to cobra pose. Strong legs. Press back to dog pose. Now let's do the other leg, right leg. Did we do the left leg last one? Okay.
Oh, I did the right leg last time.
Just do your other leg now where it's going to get interesting. Same version you did on the other side. Lift your chest, drop your pelvis, push your back foot into the floor. And then go to the high push-up. And lower knees, chest, and chin, or lower to your forehead. Cobra pose. Dog pose. And just take a couple breaths. If you're tight in the back and shoulders like I am, you're going to try and get your head to touch the floor. If you're quite open in the back and shoulders, you can just hold steady with a straight spine. Okay, let's do that one more time. Let's move together on this one. Right foot forward. Lift the chest. You could also lift your arms or hold your back. I'm going to switch my legs so that you can see while you're watching this. Okay, now slide your front foot back a little bit so that your legs are bent at 90 degrees. And take your left shoulder outside your right knee, or it could be your left hand outside your knee, and turn and twist to the right. If your shoulder's outside your knee, thumbs in the center of the chest. Look up. Long, deep breaths. Good. And then same thing we've been doing. Lower down, any way you like. Arch your spine. Press back to dog. Now the left. Any version. Main thing is lift the chest, push the feet down. Good. Slide the front foot back a little so the legs are bent at 90. Shoulder or hand outside of knee. Nice to do these twists on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. And once again, top of a push-up, lower how you like, cobra or upward facing dog, press back to downward facing dog. Okay, beautiful. Now, we're going to sit in warrior or in virasana, another version of warrior. So, Thunderbolt Warrior is sitting on the heels, or coming into this full warrior seat, sitting between the heels. Some people, this is too much for the knees, so sit in any seat, any warrior seat. Spine is nice and straight. Close your eyes. Say your prayers. Think of someone you love. Send out a prayer for healing. Beautiful. Let's come out of the warrior seat and extend the legs. And massage the knees. And bring the right leg in to the inside of the left thigh. If you're a little more flexible, the right heel is going to come right into the right side of the pubic bone. If you're a little bit tighter in the hips and knees, place your foot inside your left thigh. The toes are up on the left foot, and you can hold wherever you can reach. And inhale up, and exhale down. Try and get the head near the knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And continue. If you had more time in your personal practice, you could go longer. Let's inhale, stretch the spine. Exhale, fold. And then switch sides. So remember, the toes are up, not turning to the side. Inhale up, exhale down. You could go at any pace. Good, inhale up, stretch the spine through the crown of the head. Grow taller, exhale, bow. And then come up. You can massage the knees if you like. I try and give my knees a lot of love. And then come into a butterfly. Heels are together and close to the pelvis, best you can. You can sit up on something if you have tightness in the low back or hips. Okay, and all we want to do here is keep the chest lifted. If you're a little bit tighter in the back like me, put your hands behind you or hold your feet and just rock gently your knees up and down. Open the feet, press the heels together. Close your eyes. Breathe long, deep breaths. Relax your brain. If your mind is busy, think of someone you love. Okay, keep rocking with the knees, or open the feet wide and sit still with the spine straight. Or, if it feels okay for you, you can bow. Beautiful. And when you're complete, coming up to sit, this will be our last posture for this class today. The first part is a preparation, so it depends on your flexibility. You could put your right ankle on your left knee like SJ was doing in the massage for the feet and ankles. Or you could also do that reclining on your back. Or you hold the shin. Try and get the shin parallel to the floor, lift the chest to meet the leg, and move a little bit. Left toes straight up. You could stay with that, or put the right foot into a half lotus. If you know variations of this, please feel free. And you're going to twist to the right. Right hand can be behind the back, or reach all the way around, grab your foot. Left hand is by the knee, or left toes are up, not to the side. Close your eyes, See a warm sun in the center of the brain. Try and stay 5-10 breaths when you're learning a new posture. Maybe stay longer as you go deeper into the meditative experience. These are all preparations for meditation. Release the pose. Let's go to the other side. Same version you did. So whether you're here or lying on your back or opening the hip here, toes of both feet are straight up. Active feet. And then place the foot. Left hand behind the back or grab your foot. Toes of the right foot up. Twist to the left. Close the eyes, meditate. Good, and then relax the pose. Last part of the practice for today, you can either lie down or sit in a meditation seat. Whether you're lying down or seated, if you feel safe, I'd invite you to close your eyes and watch the screen on the back of your forehead. And think of a time in your life where you had an experience where you felt like, this is me, or this is good medicine for me, or this is what I want to do, or this is how I want to spend my time, or even a freedom from thinking. Like for me, here's one of my experiences. I was going through a tough time in my life, and my friend invited me to a yoga class that was like a 2-hour-long yoga class, lots of postures and really fun music playing, and it was really challenging. I was late, so I was in the front of the room. I felt kind of out of place, but I was also having a lot of fun, and it was very spiritual and playful. And then at the end, when we laid down for Shavasana, I'd never laid down for Shavasana before. At the end, I remember laying there and feeling like every cell in my body was vibrating. And I remember having the thought, this is better than any drug I've ever done. And I had this inner feeling of, this is who I am. I'm called to this. I want to teach this. I want to practice this. I want to give my life to this. Have you had an experience like that in your life? And it could be anything. But I want you to recall that experience into your mind and remember what it felt like in your cells. Just take a minute. In your daily practice, create space to remember who you are. Create space to open your mind and open your heart to focus on the world you want to live in. The person you were born to be, the fully incarnated version of yourself. Inhale deeply. Exhale. If you have time, spend some minutes now or later in the day journaling about any other moments that you had where you had that experience of this is who I am, a moment of awakening, a return to origin, to the true self, the inner knower. And just write about that. And allow those experiences to become a part of your meditation, inviting more of that into your life. If you're lying down, you can stay lying down or sit up. Rub the hands together if you're seated. And bring the hands together in the heart center. May all beings benefit in some way from this practice. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. And may I contribute to that happiness and freedom as best I can according to my conditions. And so it is.